They're coming to do work for vote, and pretty soon they'll be dropping off the machine. So Bob, you're gonna go over to you, and you can say good morning.
Good morning, welcome to the Dawn Patrol. I'm Bob Hoey, the host today. I'm really excited. We've got Lee Gitschier from the Greater Lowell Technical High School here today, sitting next to me. And then I got Tom Bomil, the co-host, and he sometimes hosts every other week. And Ned Tarmey, we're expecting him today. I hope if he doesn't show up, at least call us. Ned, we miss you and love you, buddy. And we can't talk politics today at all. So probably going to talk a little bit about schools, I would imagine, once I get going here. But I want to just start by saying I'm glad that John isn't feeding Linda Bond, always giving her the Gitschier boys. You know what I'm saying?
I thought it was
No.
Wednesday when he was out there.
I think it's a gift from John to me, to be honest with
I
you.
had said to John when I was looking, I said, I got to come on a Tuesday.
No, I'm glad you're here,
And
too.
Eric doesn't gave us up all together. He never comes on a Tuesday. You know, jeez.
One thing you can say here right about Eric, he never stops working. I don't even know if he sleeps, to be honest with you, but I try to follow everything he does, and the recent one that he had is, the recent post that he had there, Lee, was about attendance, showing up on time, just showing up to make the shop better, no matter where you are in life. I was tremendous as a prison guard when it's on time, never late, because I wanted to relieve the person that was inside the prison as fast as I could. But I did abuse my sick time. And sick time is a big issue to me because I looked at teachers, Lee, and I know you're a union guy, that's why I'm going to start with this issue. They get 33 1/3%. If someone gave me that as a prison guard, believe me, I'd save my sick time. But they only gave me 20%. And it's a perk. That's how I feel. It's a perk. You know, when I signed the contract to work there, they said you're going to get a day and a quarter a month. Beautiful. I used every ounce of that sick time because they only gave me 20%. And the way I look at numbers, if I was down fishing, down in the ocean there, what I love to do, surf fishing, I'm getting 100% from my perk. They go after us if you use any sick time, send you out to get doctor's notes. You go to these places, you get doctor's notes, but it's costing medical field a lot of money, messing with us. If you don't like our sick time, if you don't like it, negotiate it away. But the way they went after me for 20 years, I couldn't believe it. And look at who's walking in the door. My man, Ned Tarmey.
I'm going to slide over.
Yeah.
Like it right in the middle.
Okay, boys, as we talked about before, we're gonna rearrange the seating.
We're
Okay,
just moving over.
I'll slide over.
Yep.
I'll get back to that with you, Lee. Hi, buddy.
Oh, and then
Good, how are you? Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Want a water in it?
Yeah, that'll do.
Cold or room temperature?
Doesn't matter. Whatever you got. Hi, Lee, how
Hi,
are you?
Ned, how's everything? How you
Getting
feeling?
there.
getting there, buddy.
That's room temperature.
That's all right, that's all I need.
We're still rolling right now,
Yeah,
so
You're right, Bob. If they don't like the sick time policy, negotiate it out. Like at Greater Lowell, we just negotiated the teachers' contracts, everybody's contract. If I didn't like that policy of the buyback, you try to negotiate out, but what are you going to give up for it? Because, let's be honest, the unions aren't going to, if you're used to getting the 33% or the, 25%, whatever it is now, on, say, as a capped at Greater Lowell, I think at 200 days. So I think they get 25% of 200 days, so what's it, 50 days, they'll get a 10-week check. Something like that. Don't quote me on it. It might be a little higher. I'm just throwing a number out there. I think I'm right on it. But if we didn't like it, you go after it, negotiate it out. But what am I going to give them? They're not going to give up something without getting something. That's just the way it is in life. No one's going to say, "Hey, take my $50," and not expect $50 back.
yeah,
You know?
what got to me was they basically, you save your sick time, you use it, and then they almost, if you use past 5 days, they force you into getting medical notes.
Yeah, they
from
start writing you
doctors,
up
and it becomes a problem, but, excuse me, I could stay with Lee all day long, and I don't want to forget the gentleman next to me. We got him sitting here on the show, and he's been gone quite a while, my friend Ned Tarmey. Ned, Good morning, buddy.
Come back, buddy.
Good morning,
And I
morning.
have to start by saying, and this is terrible, buddy, we can't talk politics at all,
It's okay.
okay?
We can't talk electoral politics.
Electoral politics. But go ahead, Ned, say hi to everybody.
Good morning, glad to be back. I'm here again. Stayed in touch. Except I had a fall the other day, which I said, another trip to the hospital. But
Nobody knows, Ned, explain what you're talking about. That wasn't, right, that was not broadcasting,
Oh.
it was.
July 7th, somebody rang the front doorbell at the house. Jeff and his girlfriend were up at, her friend was up in Algonquin, so they went and spent the night there. So the doorbell rang the second time, so I got up and went downstairs and looked, and there was nobody there from the front. So I said to the dog, "You want to go outside?" Of course, he runs right to the back door. And I go out on the deck with him. Out of nowhere, some guy yells, "Where's Christine?" I said, "Who are you?" And he come flying across, and of course I got the bad leg since when I fell up at Lowell January. He just jumped me and knocked me down, started beating me up. I couldn't get up off the floor. Then he broke the furniture and hit me over the head with a chair. Then he picked up this paving stone. He said, "I'm going to murder you." He banged me, but I moved to my left. That's why I've got the broken clavicle and all the stuff on the left side. So he hit me with that, and I'm yelling, "Call 911." Well, somebody did hear it, but the cops were next door because he had just beaten up his wife throwing paint cans at her. So anyway, finally, a cop comes around, gets him, and the dog got excited, put him down to the ground, and then he bit him in an inappropriate way and held him down until and then the cops had to, he gave me a terrible beating, but I couldn't get up. The leg is bad on the right-hand side. I can get up with it and walk with it, but it's just tough to get up. So finally, the cops come. First of all, the guy was naked to start with. Jumps on me, holds me down, starts beating me in the eye on the left-hand side. Then he hits me with the chair. Then he gets this rock. I call it a paving stone. You use its top of a wall. And hit me over the head with it by that time. And then the dog had him down on the ground. And then the cops came. One came to me, and they questioned me. And he was kind of wondering is there anybody else in the house? I said, no. He said, "Well, where's your ID?" I said, "Upstairs in my bureau." So I said, "You can go upstairs and get it." I haven't got it. Anyway, this guy, and they got it all. And they found it. They had to tase the dog twice to get him off the guy. I kept yelling, "Don't kill him. He's a good dog." He is, too.
He saved your life.
Oh, he saved my life.
Yeah. Where is this guy now? Is he in prison?
No, he's out on bail because,
Oh, jeez.
but he's going to, they've indicted him now. In Superior Court.
Oh, okay.
2 charges of murder, attempted murder, 2
Right.
charges of attempted breaking and entering, and a couple of other charges. And there's about 10 charges happening before in the district court.
Wow.
So I spent 4 weeks. I got
Yeah.
4 weeks in the hospital.
Did they tase him too?
Oh yeah, they tased him 5 or 6 times to calm him down. So then they took me to the hospital. Jeff has a picture somewhere. I don't know what my face looked like. You never believe it was me. But it was a terrible night.
Wasn't pretty, Ned.
Yeah.
Didn't you have a broken cheekbone too?
Oh, I have a clavicle broken. No, 4 behind my cheek and in my eye. 4 bones broken there. My arm, my wrist.
You
Well,
might,
Ned, moving to, like, last week, you're walking around the neighborhood just to get yourself back in shape.
So I lost that vacation at Hampton. That was going the next week. So then we're up in
Probably slide the mic a
Orchard.
little towards Ned, will you?
Then we go to Old Orchard, and I ended up getting a seizure. 4 of them. They thought they had me in a critical condition. Oh, but I had to call Jeff down up in Old Orchard. It took him. They just went to bed because a friend of hers, white girlfriend, was up there with her husband. They went out to eat because they had a couple of eyeballs, what do you want to say. So finally they got him, and he come down, but that was like, It was a terrible, terrible thing. So then we get that there. I'm in that hospital 2.5, 3 weeks. I forget how long. I don't remember going to the hospital. I remember being in front of the house then. I ain't leave until the dog runs away, but he comes back to the front door. And they let him in. But the cops and the firemen were in the house looking to see him, and they ruined his house, you know. They had to buy it. The dog went, because I always slept in my room, sleeping on my bed, bleeding, all the mattress, everything. So then we go to Elliott Hospital. That's where I am. They bring the dog in. Of course, Channel 9 was there, and the dog jumps up in the bed and all over me. But so then we got to Rochester, and I fell then. No, I had a seizure, just walking crazy, I guess. I don't remember that either. I remember being in the ambulance, leaving there. We went to Biddeford first, and they brought me up to the South Main. They drilled 2 holes in my head because they couldn't get the blood to drain from around my heart. So I spent, I don't know, at least 8 or 9 days up there. Then we're home. Last Sunday I'm walking. Been walking for a couple of weeks. I lost my balance, went down, nobody around.
Oh, boy.
For the dog, and then they came looking for me, the dog came looking for me. They had to keep the dog in a wire fence because he likes to go visit neighbors. So basically the dog saved my life. And did I miss anything, Jeff? Did we get it all?
No, I have a quick question. Maybe you would know, Ned, if anybody would know. I thought Massachusetts, I'm not sure about New Hampshire, they used to have like a fund for violent crime victims.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, you might want to look into it after what you went through. But I remember that was, at one time, I do remember that if you, let's say someone got murdered in your family or something severe, which would happen to you, to me is severe, they used to have a cash payment of like 20 grand, I think it was, something like that, to help out the person that went through all that. Just curious.
I really don't know. They had a GoFundMe because we had Jeff's house over. That was probably over $25,000-$30,000. The insurance, the bill is at least over $1 million.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So if I miss something, I don't know. It'll come back. But
How about people that visit?
oh yeah, a lot of people visit. We had Monday Night Club up there one night.
Well, buddy, I'm just saying it because I know a lot of your friends, like the Brady family, a lot of them ain't around anymore.
Debbie's come up a lot.
Yeah,
Debbie,
cool.
She's the only one left. And her and Fred Greenwood. Tom Belgar was home from Florida. He come up. Danny Rourke came up.
Great.
Rodney Elliott came up. It was a good, a lot of people.
Have you been paying attention of Lowell? Have you been paying attention
Well, I
to
don't
the
have a
city?
newspaper, but I try to pick it up when I was coming down every Monday. When I'd stay at Fred's house, and then he saved all the newspapers for me. But I don't know what's going on. And then I went to the Bobby Cox's thing.
Yeah, we saw you.
Yeah,
that was a good time, huh?
that was a good thing.
You look great
What,
there.
he like John McDonough says, he saves lives. That's the most important thing he does. And of course, I grew up with the Cox family.
I like the way
Christian Hill.
he mentioned you at the
Oh
party.
yeah, we did. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I saw you. You were there. Yeah.
Good. I
Exactly.
sat right next to you. I think I ate your dessert.
Even Mrs. Bomil was there.
That's right, when we were walking in, we saw you, we were parking the car.
Yeah.
You do get a
Wife and
good
I.
feed there, though.
Well, Bobby, that's a great organization.
Oh, it's a great.
Hey, Lee, if you don't mind, we'll give Ned a little bit of a break. Talk about the food from the Great Lowell Technical High School, what's going on out there.
The
That's a
Artisan?
good one.
Yeah, the Artisan's real good. You have to make it.
That's a restaurant.
Yeah, you have to make it. I think
Excuse me, McDonough will be paying attention once he hears this one.
Well, he knows it. I send it to him every once in a while.
Okay.
So obviously, what do I saw something, I shared it. I think it's closed Wednesday and Thursday this week, or Thursday and Friday, but for big functions. But yeah, the kids run the restaurants, they do the cooking, they do the head of the house and the back of the house. It's, you can't beat it. You get 4 or 5 specials every day, and I don't think there's a special more than $8.
Great. And you should call before you go.
Yeah, you
Makes
want to
it
call,
easy.
make a reservation, and I think it's 11 to 1, maybe 12:30.
Can you make the reservation online? Because this day and age,
You know what?
people
I don't know,
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
you might be able to.
Yeah.
You probably can.
I got another tough one for you. How about, after dark program? Was anybody from the Lowell school system, I think I've mentioned, Robin Desmond. I think she played a little bit of a part of that, going out to you guys and talking about the after dark program. I think it's something should be talked about
Yeah,
because,
we still have it. So the IT portion of it, Lowell High's doing it on its own. So we had, the beginning, it was information technology, which is computers and machine shop. We don't have machine shop any longer. There was just no interest. The kids didn't want to do it. And Lowell High took over their own IT program, their own computer. So they do something similar to After Dark there. We have auto body, HVAC.
welding, I know welding, yeah.
Yeah, we have welding with those guys. So yeah, it's still up and running with the kids from Lowell High, which is a great thing because now they're learning a trade. We actually place them, it might be auto mechanics, but we place them in co-op jobs like our kids. And if they, after school, okay, here you go, here's your job. Peter Jarvis is taking a couple of mechanics, so I think it's auto mechanics. He's taking some kids and
Have
from
you
the
seen
after dark-
Jarvis's place? Gorgeous. Came out beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It looks real nice, doesn't it?
Oh, it's
Looks
finished?
awesome. Looks
Finally-
awesome.
It's finally
I
finished?
think I might have rode by last night. Looks,
I gotta go up there.
all lit up. Congratulations. Nice job.
Yeah, we're also in the middle of building 8 classrooms out there.
Wow.
So, that's what our ESSA money went towards these classrooms. So,
I don't know how they're doing. I follow, my grandson's in the 8th grade. He just did a tour at Neshoba, okay? And he just got finished playing his first year of football, 8th grade football. And the school, Neshoba's like 8-0, and I think they're ranked around 4th in that division. But the mother of my grandson wants him to go to the Greater Lowell Technical High School. I said, listen, you can't take him there. You can't apply there. You live in Townsend. This is the one for you. That's how much she graduated from yesterday.
our football team 7-1. We're in the playoffs
Wow.
Friday night. So,
Congratulations.
our only losses to the number 1 team was Shawsheen. So,
Yeah.
we lost to them a couple of weeks ago. So,
Now, do you play Neshoba?
I think we did, but I didn't see them in the
Might be a different.
in the playoff 16 team. I didn't see them there, and I know they're in the play. I'm pretty sure they're in the playoffs. So I didn't see them, but there again, I wasn't really looking for them. I just kind of scanned who's the 1 seed. It was Shawsheen Tech. and
Yeah, it
then-
must be
Yeah.
in a different bracket because their record's 8-0, so
Yeah.
they're probably in like another division.
Yeah, there could be 6.
That's Shawsheen. It's funny you say that. Borica, they're very tough, huh?
As you get Borica, Burlington, yeah.
Yeah.
They're tough.
Wrestling, I don't think we can beat them anymore. Lowell
Ah, they're-
now it's Tom Cassidy, right? One
Yeah.
of my bosom buddies. I know you know him very well.
Yeah, Shawsheen's the number 1. Well, I saw a poll. They're the number 1 team in the state right now, according to the team-wise wrestling. That, of course, it's initial rankings, but you know how this works. You get
Yeah.
hurt, you don't. But yeah, they're the number 1 team in the state right now.
You know,
According to the
I love to
rankings.
bring up baseball or softball, but especially baseball after I watched the World Series. What was that kid's name? Freddie Freeman.
Freeman,
that
yeah.
hit the-
Oh, what a
You see how he went to the
series he had
backstop?
there.
It
Yeah.
gave me a flashback, Ned. Remember when Jimmy Pearsall went to the backstop?
Yeah.
Whole different ballpark. This kid went up there and gave his dad all the credit. It was a great World Series. So,
Bobby, you want to get these? I got 4 texts come in, so.
yeah. Charlene, hi Charlene. Welcome back, Ned. And Mark Ratman. Now that is a great crew. Have a great day, gentlemen. Okay, thanks, Mark. Jeff Thomas, you knew he was going to call in today because we got Lee Gitschier here. See, that's what I mean, John. Thank you for putting Lee on. What a great crew this morning. It is wonderful to have Ned back.
Oh,
I hit
That's
the wrong
okay.
There we
button.
go.
I'll get it back there.
It's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And back in the seat. Glad you were doing a lot better. If you can't talk about election today, is asbestos on the table at Lowell High School? Should have went to Crowley originally when voters voted for it. Yeah, that's your opinion. You know
Let's
my.
see more.
I tell you, it's never gonna go away.
Here comes the extra money. That's what. And
Always never gonna go away.
Look, it's not going to go away. Yeah, Bobby, I was on the other side from you. I was a collie guy, and look, we knew when we.
Let's just finish off Charlene, I'll go back to you guys.
Monday night dinner club.
Bobby, you blinked off over there. You blinking?
Yeah, I'm off. Yeah. Battery's dead, that's okay.
Okay. I gotta
Over
get,
for me there,
oh,
Tom.
Tommy, go
All
right
right.
ahead. I gotta get him back.
You want to read, Monday night dinner club should have lunch at the Greater Lowell Technical High School sometime. We might have to do lunch. John, you guys go out last night?
Yeah, we went to,
I didn't see the
China
post.
Buffet
I didn't
in Methuen. There was only 4 of us, so I didn't post.
Oh, okay.
Oh, 5 of us, 5 of us.
I gotta respond to Jeff Thomas, please.
All right.
It'll be short.
I didn't even know it was blinking.
I mean, Bobby, you knew, like when we did Greater Lowell over 15 years ago, there was asbestos in that building. Everybody knew there was asbestos in there. I mean, I just got a kick when they were saying, "Oh, there's no asbestos in the 22 building." Of course there is.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it's not, you didn't think there was going to be an overrun in this? I mean, everybody knew there's going to be an overrun. When you go into existing construction and do a renovation, it's going to get costly.
I'm good, okay. So Jeff, I just need to respond to you, buddy. I don't want to fight you. You look a little bit bigger than I am, and you're a little bit younger than me. But I was for downtown. There's no doubt about it. I'm not going to get in an argument over where it should have been. Them days are behind us. But I will say this, Jeff. After you say that, why don't the committee that's watching the high school being built have a gentleman like yourself that knows something about construction? There's nobody down there that knows anything about construction. We do have a senator. He's watching that high school, believe me. He's not going to leave until that's done. But there's no one like you, Jeff, on there. Even myself, all I know is roofing and basic cement work. But I would have some type of questions when it comes to the problems that are there. I don't care what's there. Asbestos, you know asbestos is in all those buildings. But if you look at that building that they're gutting out right now, it's halfway gutted. How did they ever build a building so great, Ned? How? Why did that building, that was built back when you were born, Ned. Before you, Ned. Think of that. And that thing is in perfect
Yeah.
outside shape. Outside foundation.
All these old buildings.
How did they do it?
Oh, all those old buildings are in great shape.
Yeah, so I think we need a Jeff Thomas on that committee down there to watch it the rest of the way out, too.
Bobby, my only chief complaint about the rejuvenation of Lowell High School, the windows don't open. And if the windows don't open, direct sunlight can't get in the classroom, we are building a sick building there. All the politicians go, just a second, John, would you, wait a second, repeat that. They don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
But anybody who knows about viruses will tell you, the only thing that kills everything in the room is direct sunlight. Filtered sunlight through the glass, it's nice, feels good, does nothing to kill germs and virus. If you don't have direct sunlight, floor screen's okay, these windows don't open. And so I'm going to complain about that while the project goes on, hoping that we can turn this thing around. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think
All right.
they're just going to go, nice job, Tom Golden. Tommy Golden's doing a fantastic.
What did the superintendent say when he was on this regarding this, John? Did you question him?
He has,
Oh, boy, I want to find that out.
no, I did not ask.
Well, I didn't want to lose where I was, too, because I had one more thing to throw at Jeff Thomas a little bit. Now that we have Mayor Danny Rourke, what I've seen so far out of Danny has been almost incredible compared to the other 3 mayors that I've worked for. He'd be the 4th mayor if I was there. No, I actually work for 4 mayors. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But right now, Danny Rourke, he's outdoing anybody I ever worked for as a
doing a great
mayor.
job.
And him and his friends, and I don't know all their names. I know there's an Eddie Alash's grandson, I believe it is.
Matt.
That group, yeah, thank you. That group there is going to do something special out there at Coley Stadium. So as bad as that fight is, let's wait till everything's done. Let's see what this mayor does. I think the mayor's on a roll. I think he wants to leave a good impression, and maybe, just maybe, he might be our next 2-time mayor, the way he's going. So there you go, Jeff. And
Bobby, read these.
Thanks for what you do, Jeff. This is what I'm getting at. They poked so many holes and said, no way they explored so much. Jeff, because the appointments are all handed down as gravy appointments and given to friends and people who are just
Put
turning
up,
a
John.
blind eye to issues. I can't see the rest, John.
Okay.
That's okay. I asked to be appointed to it. Oh, good for you. Good for you, and I hope you get it. So there's a lot of people that are hopefully watching the show today because they're all done watching the fish aquarium. Do you watch that, Ned? Monterey Bay Aquarium on
He's up in
Channel
New
8?
Hampshire. He's up in New
Wow,
Hampshire.
that is really, it's good for you if you need, like some help with your mental health. I watch it for 45 minutes today, watch fish float.
You should
back
go
and
for
forth.
4 hours.
So, Tom, let me throw it to you, buddy. What's going on around your world?
Well, we have 2 finalists for the town manager's job. One of them isn't Eric Gitschier, so I mean. So we have one from the girl is from Lancaster, Mass. She's the administrator up there, and the other one is the administrator. Her name is Kate Hodges, and the other one is. I'm blanking on his name. Silver is his name, his last name. I think it's Jay or Justin Silver.
I'll go after the pictures in a second.
He's
Tommy,
the.
can you read this one?
Welcome back, Ned. Great to see you on the program.
Jay,
Jay.
So I'm gonna, who are these 2 characters? No, I shouldn't say character, 2 finalists for the district?
Kate Hodges, and I can't remember if it's Jay Silver or Justin Silver, his first name. He's the town administrator in Dunstable. Those are the 2 names that were submitted to the selectmen. I heard there was going to be interviews this week, but I checked yesterday. There's nothing posted. I know they can post it. I heard there was going to be they were going to interview this coming Thursday and make a decision next Tuesday, but I haven't seen anything posted, so I don't know what's going on. If Tony's watching, maybe he can give us a little insight, or
It'd have to be posted today, right?
it would have to be if they're going to
It'll
be
be
on
Thursday.
Yeah,
It is Kate Hodges and Jason Silver.
Jason Silva.
Ned,
Both great.
Go ahead, Tom, sorry.
They're both great. Went through great interviews, of 2 of them. We had let's see, we did actually interviewed 5, I believe, and those 2 were submitted. So we'll see what the selectmen decide to do. You know.
I'm dying to see how much Drake it pays, because they're usually
Yeah,
cheap.
it was advertised at 185 to 220. So, and I know both these candidates, I'm sure, are making less than that. I don't know what Dunstable would pay a town administrator in a small town like that, but
I would doubt it's anything near that.
yeah.
Ned, you can jump in anytime you want, buddy.
right, again,
Ned,
congratulations.
Also,
Tom,
okay, I'm sorry.
You're blowing on his retirement.
Oh, my wife's retirement.
His wife retired. He's been
Yeah.
waiting for a year for that.
Yeah, she finally did it. So it's great. She's enjoying life and taking it easy. And
That's what she told me. She
wanted to stay there another year, but just down there, it just wasn't. I'm not going to go there. I don't want to go there on
Yeah.
TV, but
It was time.
yeah, it was time. And also, we have this coming Thursday. We have the annual Salvation Army breakfast at Lindsay's, which we're looking forward to. We're roasting. Well, I'm not roasting, but Ray Booton. So he is going to be the honoree this year. And I think the mayor's one of the roasties. I'm not sure or not.
if it's Booton, I would think he would be.
Yeah. So that's coming up, and we usually have a good crowd with that. And I think next week,
Where you
right
holding
after
that?
it's right.
Lindsay's?
Yeah.
you know, Ned,
We had it last year at 4 Oaks, and it was
Yeah,
it's what to me
I
it was
was
just a
there.
small venue. It was just-
Jam-packed.
It's but it was too small.
Yeah.
We had the ICC Center downtown. That was
Yeah.
great. And then Lindsay's, who's a great guy, Mike's a great guy. We're having it there this year. I was just going to say something. I lost my train of thought, but I'll think of it.
So Ned, I sent you a picture, and I sent it out on Facebook. I went to the water department. Your name's up there. Did you know that?
Oh, I knew
You must
that.
have known that,
They
right?
did it.
Now, I remember when I was 15, Ned, and I'm 70 now, right? There was a place called the Cinnamon Lounge, okay?
That was me too.
That was you. I used to be able to get in there with an ABC card. I was 15 years old. And 3 Z's. There was many. Oh, the old Worthing. all with that.
That was.
But listen, $5 was a lot of money for that card. That's a lot of money when you go back to that time, 1969, $5 when you could get a whole pizza for you and your friends and everybody have a drink with $5 easy. So you did run that.
Yeah, my brother and I.
Yeah.
But I want to go back to asbestos.
You want to interrupt you for 1 second, Ned? Excuse me, 1
Water
second.
department when we were
Ned,
doing the
hold
building
on.
over.
Hold on.
And we had all the asbestos on that end. Yeah, I thought
Yep.
it was still there. It was an old building. There was asbestos.
Yeah,
asbestos there.
it's in every, look at it, that's what
So
they wrap
we
the
ha-
pipes
hold
with.
up
and-
the horse
Excuse
for a
me
second.
just for a second.
Hold up the horses. That's Kate Hodges on the left. She's one of the finalists for the town manager job in Dracut, and that's Jason Silver on the right. And good luck to them both.
They both
Lee,
look
go ahead.
young.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, all the pipes and boilers and stuff back in the day were wrapped in asbestos. That's the way it
My house
was.
had it.
That's the way it was. I mean,
Yeah, it-
we all knew, and to Jeff's point, they said, we poked some holes in there. We all knew there was asbestos in that building. Everybody knew it.
I remember we had the plastic all over the building.
Yeah, that's how they take it out. That's how you
Yeah.
remedy it. It's not an easy process. It's not going to be easy down there. And, that, unfortunately, when you do a renovation, you're going to run into stuff like that. It's like anything else. If there was a new construction out of college, it'd probably already be done. Would there have been overruns? Yeah. Prices went up from when the bids went out. But guess what? It's downtown.
And yeah, that's right. And
It's over.
And who put it downtown? The swamp. The swamp wanted it downtown. The swamp got what they wanted. Now, we're not the swamp anymore. I know. Huh? No, you're part of the new swamp. But what I'm saying is that's how Lowell's always been. We fight over things all the time, no matter what it is. We fight and have an argument, but the next day we forget about it. We're friends. I think Jeff Thomas is the bomb. I love him. I wish he was a city councilor, but he didn't want to even try for it for whatever reasons, and I had to go for a second choice, Kim Scott. I'm not afraid to say that, and the city's awesome, that's all I got to say. And now look at the new swamp, I love saying that, Danny Rourke, and I wish him so much luck.
I didn't hear that one before.
That's okay, oh no, he's the leader of it, believe me.
Well, who's in
He's
it?
done, listen, the city manager, Pawtuckaville, I want to say the Highlands, and not Belvedere.
Me?
We're not in that. Tom from Dracut, good connections. But listen, Rourke, the name Rourke, to me, you want to talk unions with Lee? We could talk unions all day. Andy Rourke, very powerful guy, and asked me at the time, thank you for my pension. I appreciate it. It got me out in 20 years. Think of that, folks. I could retire with 20 years.
Just want to point out, typical Lowell. All the employees are parking right at the entrance of the school. Whoever's running the Rogers School District, it's got to be one of Golden's buddies running it, because it's just, how can you park? I would tell everybody here, go park someplace else, don't park there. I'd put cones here, only old retirees, old timers, voters only can park here. But no. The staff, we take,
It's Tom Golden's fault.
yeah, it is.
No, I agree with one
the
thing.
boss.
It's the school department's fault.
Thank you, John. Bob, that was going to
It
say.
is.
No,
It's-
it's not. The school has told their employees, because they're all parking in the funeral home parking lot today.
So it's the
You cannot
principal-
park at the school. You can't park at the school today. Don't park at the school. It's for voters.
But what-
Obviously, the city didn't tell their own employees.
Right, but all of those teachers aren't just from that school, John. They
They
haven't.
aren't teachers. These are poll workers.
Oh, yeah,
the
that's
poll
right.
workers,
That's
Bobby.
on
Oh,
school today. That's
okay.
right. Good point,
Those
John.
are- those
All
are
right,
poll
all
workers.
right. I was thinking
point,
professional
John. You're right.
development's going on too today, so teachers are in the building, you know?
Really?
What the heck?
Yeah.
No, it's-
Yeah.
it's
Sometimes
voters.
they rotate to certain buildings, a couple, Bobby's
When I was-
right.
when I
Pine
They
School,
did
yeah.
that, they did
Pine
that
School,
in
they
Dracut
do.
a couple of years ago, and I guess it was a disaster, because people were voting, and there was nowhere to park, because the teachers still came in.
Right.
So I don't know if they did something different.
Who's
or
the
if they had-
supreme boss here? Golden's the boss. Golden's the boss.
That's all about principal.
The principal has already told all of his
You know that for
employees.
fact?
Yes, I do, because they said to the funeral home, can we use the parking lot tomorrow? We're going to fill it up with teachers, because we want to give all the parking to the voters. The teachers are told, don't park on the property. They're going to park at the funeral home.
That's pretty good of you. That's nice of you. To have the pocket.
Love the voters. No, but we don't have a funeral today, so it's easy for us.
How did Eric's motion go on the, moving to the early voting to the senior centers? Did that pass?
I think they sent it back to the,
Oh, committee?
yeah.
That's genius. The senior center is better because we can have lunch over there. There's camaraderie, there's plenty of room.
I don't see them going against that, but, I mean, I think it gets sent back.
I think they should do it in Drake, and I think they should do it in Tewksbury. I think they should all do their early voting at their senior center. The senior center need easy promotion and gets people to go, hey, I was down there, it's a nice place.
You gotta be over 60. You could come from New Hampshire or anywhere.
They had the voting, they had.
No, I'm talking about eating. So if you're under 60, you can go to the Greater Lowell Technical High School and have a good meal yourself. I'm just saying, that's all. You have to be 60, right, to go to the senior center to eat?
Yeah.
Because we talk about that a lot here. Yeah.
They had
I've tried it
Grandma's
twice.
Day. But I can remember when, the voting was that way. I used to vote at the school up there in the Gage Field,
Robertson?
Robinson. No, the other one, McAuliffe.
Okay.
No, the Robinson. That's right, the one that.
We got
closest
two
to
standing
Gage.
in
Yeah,
line
the
to
next
vote
to each
already.
other.
Yeah.
Two standing in line already.
What are they doing?
We're going to
Standing
go
in
in to
line to
vote.
Oh, wow. That's right.
Well, we're going to have you vote.
20 minutes.
It's going to be, it's open at 7.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Oh, that's right.
And don't forget, we can't talk politics and that, because
That's not-
me and you would be banging it out right now, you know
It's not
that.
election politics. We're just saying that go
About
vote.
voting, that's John,
Yeah, we're
talk about
saying-
voting.
That's all right. We almost said, too much or
Yeah,
whatever.
wait, I think John said we could talk
See, you got
about,
my blue on.
Yeah.
you know,
You
next
have
week,
blue on.
I got my flag.
what?
So, Ray.
I got my
Yeah, I
red-
hear you.
got my red tie. Boy, right.
There you go.
So Lee, let's get back to just one thing. Drake, it seemed to me, always having some type of issue with the Greater Lowell Technical High School
We
kid.
talked about this yesterday when I was.
Oh,
at
you
school.
did? Then we'll change that
No,
subject.
no, we still have a problem with them. Well, I don't know if it's the school committee or the superintendent, but they don't seem to want to come out and tour the building, tour the school. Like today, there's a tour there for Drake. But it's the school doing it. It's not Drake. It's saying.
I was gonna say that's always an
And-
issue, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's still an issue. And I can't figure out what. I mean, I get it. It's money, and the money travels with the student. Drake doesn't want to give us the money, and we've picked up more Drake kids in the last couple of years because it's the vocation. It's trades, and trades are starting to come back. And the last 30 years, people are figuring out they were sold a bill of goods at college is wonderful, and now people are coming out with $100,000 in debt, and they're actually not using the degree, getting a job that you don't need a degree.
And you make more money as a tradesman than you do
You
as
do.
a teacher.
You do, and so yeah, no, Bob Drake just doesn't like sending their kids there.
That was the superintendent that said no the first
Right.
time.
Yeah, and I think the school
Still
committee
does.
backed him, and other
Yeah.
school committees changed, and Matt Sheen's working hard with him. He's the chair of the committee. He's working hard to get it to happen.
Is it all about losing the money?
I think so.
He
But that's
used-
only my opinion. I think that's what it's about.
I remember he used his excuse that he didn't want them to lose time studying.
Yeah, studying. Yeah, 4 hours. I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's
Now, that goes back a while, because you look at vocational training now, I'm telling you, money's coming toward it. It's just going to take time.
Well,
It's going to take time, but they, at least, I think, just my opinion, the state politicians, everybody knows we need more vocational
my problem
training.
right now with DESE is that they're looking to change like admission policies off for all the vocational schools. They want to go back to a lottery, and I have a huge problem with that because I was actually in a lottery for Greater Lowell, and then if a kid leaves his sophomore year at Greater Lowell, say, I don't like going to Greater Lowell. I'm just going to go there, get in the lottery, and you lose that seat. That's what people don't understand. You lose it
I
for 2
didn't know
years.
that.
You can't, okay, you go to the list, okay, Ned, so say you're in culinary arts, and you don't like culinary arts, and you're like, okay, you know what, I'm dropping it, I'm going to Drake High, Tingsboro, Lowell. Well, the next kid on the list, off the lottery, you gotta fill culinary. I don't wanna be a culinary. I wanna be a welder, or I wanna be an electrician. Well, there's no seats there. So you lose that seat forever.
Wow.
And, I like the admission policy. I think it's fair across the board. We're a majority minority school. Go to school. When you come out of Greater Lowell, we're training you to go to get a job, to have a job. You have to go to work or you get fired. You know, yeah, do we have kids going to college out of there? Yeah, but you still have to go to school. And, I mean, can we lessen up the attendance policy to get in? We probably could slack it a little bit instead of saying, you know, you get full for 7th and 8th grade, 5 days and under. Maybe we can make it 7. You know, it'd bring in some more, it'd bring in some more kids. But like getting back to you, Bob, the governor has this in her head that a lottery would be better and it's going to help the schools. And I'm like, well, wait a minute here. I'm a majority minority school. Use the city. Now, let's use Drake at Tom, the demographics in Kingsborough, Dunstable.
Yeah.
That's not minorities. That's
Exactly.
majority. It's
Exactly.
not. Okay, so say we grab 260 kids from, or 200 kids from Drake and another 100 from Kingsborough, and we grab 200 from Lowell. Well, right there and then, I already know that's not we're not a minority-majority school anymore.
Right.
Now we're really discriminating, and I know it's the luck of the
Wow.
ball coming out of the chug lug machine, but to me, I don't think it's broken, and we shouldn't be screwing with it. But
You know what happened to me, Lee? I was in the 7th grade over here at Rogers School. Then you went to the Butler for the 8th grade. Then you came back to the Rogers for 9th grade because the high school numbers were just so huge, they couldn't fit the 9th graders all downtown. So I had to go over here. My following year, they sent me, because of being a total punk, they sent me to the Lowell Trade School. And I took automotive for 1 year. The only thing I got out of that system was watching the shop teachers and the teachers not liking each other. I mean, absolutely. And I'm going back when Mr. Foy was alive, Wally Gasick, quite a while ago. And they were almost at a point that they wanted a beef. But look at how it's changed so much that a shop teacher is very important.
yeah, the shop teachers used to hate. Well,
It's unbelievable.
so that's the thing at Greater Lowell. The education side, I call it the education side, call it your academic side and your career technical side, has to get along. It's imperative. If they don't get along, it's just going to show in the MCAS, it's going to show on the attendance rate. We have, I think it's like a 97, 98% attendance rate right now. I mean, think about that. 98% of our kids are going to school every day.
That's great.
It's crazy.
The Greater Lowell Volk is a better school than Drake at High School. It's a well-run school. J.
Yeah, that goes to the administration.
But that can go, you could say the same thing, that it's better than Lowell High. It's just the way it is. Pardon me?
You see that whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Glad you're feeling better? What, did I miss it, John? I just fell asleep here. Good morning, Ned. So nice to see you. You look fantastic. Glad you're feeling better.
In the long one.
Hi, Mr. Tarmey. It's an absolute miracle that you have recovered, given what you went through. You, sir, are an inspiration. I look forward to listening to you, to all your great wisdom. Take care. Most respectfully, Jeannie
Balkus.
Belkis.
Well put.
Thank you, Jeannie. And
Thank you, Jeannie.
how do you feel, Ned? What's
So
going
great. I got to thank all the people that sent me cards or called me or sent me messages. It was amazing what I got. You know, a lot of good people. You don't realize how many people watch this show. You know,
Well, how about you giving us a few Ned Tarmey rants?
I don't have any.
I was looking forward to that.
He had an epiphany.
I was looking forward to that. I'm like, I hope he comes in with a couple.
I'll come up
See,
with
if it
them.
wasn't election day, he'd have a good
We
one.
should have had him read the column with the Lowell Sun and Corey Robinson going at it. That's
Oh, man.
it's awesome.
Oh,
It's awesome.
yeah.
It's awesome. I love it. Corey's not going to back down. He's just
Well, they've been attacking
He's like,
him
"Let's
since
go."
day one, and they want him to shut up? Come on.
he's like, let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. I think it's a riot. I'm like,
Oh.
okay, he is not going to back down.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, the column was all about the Bishop Markham housing. Ned, I don't know if you saw it, about how the homeless and some people in there were sending pictures to the city councilors.
Yeah.
About the drug dealers walking
Yeah.
through the halls and this and that.
We know it isn't Fred because he doesn't live there anymore.
Right. So so it was. So the council's got pictures sent to them, or some of them did, or maybe all of them did. I don't know. And Corey came out and just blasted the little son. The little son actually went back, I guess, and went through there. And Corey comes out and says, "Well, see, if I didn't blast you, you would never went through and did the right thing." Now, I don't know if that's the whole truth, but sounded good on Facebook when you
Yeah.
came right back out and
Yeah.
started throwing bombs, so.
That's what happens when you do away with most of your maintenance and being done by an outside firm.
Well-
And there's nobody there half of the time to take care of it. And the police precinct is not there. It's supposed to be there.
It's there, I guess, yeah, it's there. I mean, I agree with you, you gotta go by, look at, if the door lock's not working,
Yeah.
come on, that's common sense 101. You know, think about that back in the day, if the garage door wasn't working down at the water department, what would you done? It's getting fixed.
Yeah.
It's just maintenance 101. I mean, I don't know if the housing, I mean, the city's getting a lot better doing, I think they're getting better doing more work. I think they're being challenged to do more maintenance, and I think they're doing a better job of it. I mean, you look at the roads and stuff like that, they're sinking some money into it. Well, you know,
Let's go down Elm Street.
I know, you,
Let's go down Elm Street, okay. So Tommy, can you read these?
Can you wish my younger brother a happy birthday?
That's from Eric.
I don't even like that kid.
My
Happy
younger,
birthday.
it'll never stop.
Welcome back. Welcome back, Ned. I predict Tuesday will go back to being the #1 rated show of the week.
Is that you?
That's not me, buddy, that's not me. No, but you
Wait,
got,
you talk about the column, and it's not a column. It's not.
No, it's not.
You'd open it, every political chunk, you would open that paper. the
Oh,
first
yeah.
thing you get- and that's talk about stupid stuff. I mean, that should be maybe start.
When you don't live in a city, how do you know what's going on?
Oh, it would challenge, like, you'd open that paper and you're like,
Oh.
okay, everybody that wrote in to challenge somebody. And it was,
Yep. Yep.
even the Christmas edition, when they were giving out the Christmas
Yes,
present,
yes.
no one was safe.
It's horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, that's when Joe Tully and Phil Shea used to feed them all the time. It was.
But everybody.
All the
got
councilors
benched,
did,
everybody
all the
benched Martin,
councilors.
all of them. It was, that's
They
the way it
always
was,
put that,
you
when
know.
it was getting into
That's
the-
when, love him or hate him, Chris Scott. I mean, he did that column, did a great job in that column. You know?
Chris Scott, oh God help us. Okay, this is a live shot of the Rogers School voting area. This is a line of people waiting to get in. This is where all the employees park. The school has restricted all the teachers cannot park on school property today, making plenty of room for the city of Lowell employees to park. Shouldn't this be for voters?
You would think.
So I'm gonna keep looking, and I wanna get this right and set to see what kind of a line, but this is a line of people, these people have been here since, they've been here for a half hour, these first two. So I gotta zoom.
Maybe nobody helps
Is
you.
there John, is there parking in the back of that building, say, for employees? Do you know?
It's a country walk.
Oh, it's a kind,
Right
yeah.
now,
Well,
It's a
the
tough walk.
street's empty.
Yeah, you're not walking that.
no, right.
I mean, the street's empty right now.
They probably should.
You're not walking from back there.
no,
They should probably post it, photo parking only or something next time, you know?
There probably is signs saying
I
that.
tell my employees, don't park at the church entrance, that's for the family. You just don't park to that's for people, that's for clients, not for employees. Reminds me of some small business people on downtown Lowell that park in front of the store all day, and bitch, there's no parking.
you know, I'd like to go and talk, because you guys brought up Corey Robinson. I just want to say one thing, why I'm a big supporter of Corey Robinson is because it comes down to like things like that Freddie Freeman I talked about that hit the grand slam. Who did he go give credit to? His dad, right away. Right away. Look at your brother, Eric Gitschier, out in the field playing long toss. Do you know if I threw one ball like he did, and I played a lot of baseball, my arm would be hanging toward the ground for 3 weeks. Your brother's out there working with his kid. And it's amazing, because Zach's my favorite Gitschier, by the way. I've said that many times. Oh, I have. But it's important to say that. I know why I'm like I am. It's not all normal, because I'm half Newell. But my father was something special to me. But you lose him early, it kind of hurts. So what do? You pick up on something. He said to you, make sure you do this. And I said, what's that? He goes, you're hanging around with the wrong crowd. You got to get better friends. Jerry Begley, Tom Cassidy, Sean Carney. I could go on and on and on. But I know a friend of yours, Lee, and I think this is important right now. His name, I know the first name, hold on, Kevin Sheehan.
Yep.
A few years back, he was made Teacher of the Year. And I always loved watching this guy because He's incredible when it comes to little kids and wrestling, that sport of wrestling. He turned one of his nephews, and I don't care what anybody thinks, he turned one of his nephews into a four-time state champion, Brian Sheehan. We had one in our neighborhood, Bobby Milanazzo, four-time state champion. But right now, the 8th grade has a wrestling thing going around the city.
Bobby, this is a picture in the front of the school,
yeah.
different angle.
Yeah.
The employees should be not at the front door. There's plenty of room here, park on both sides of the street, out being a little to the left.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of parking.
Well, I was trying to get to that. I was talking about the 8th grade wrestlers. If we can shake them out of their house because they're not in school, we could go have them make all these people move their cars, okay? Because that's what I love about Lowell, see? We lost to Shawsheen, we lose to Timberline. All these schools come in and beat Lowell at wrestling. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Lowell's going to come back in wrestling because of people like Kevin Sheehan and the Riley School.
Yeah, the Dillon boys, Kevin
Oh, my
Sheehan, they're all
God.
trying to,
I really can't even explain how huge this is happening right now in the middle
you
schools.
get the Lopez kids, they were both great Lowell kids, and they're, matter of fact, one's got the wrestling coach at STEM, one's at the Robinson. They're making it. They're gonna make it interesting to build back up the Lowell youth program.
I can't get into this story because it'd be too long, okay? But the coach out at your school, Tom Cassidy, the wrestling coach, I'm pretty sure he's on his 25th, 29th year.
Something, yeah, he's out.
I was there when he first started, and when he catch a heavyweight guy like me having a Snickers bar in the corner, right, before the match, he wouldn't do what George Bossy did, and Tom comes from George Bossy. He had a way, oh my God, Bossy's way was give you a good crack across the back of the head and then pat you on the bum at the end of the day saying, nice job. I love Judge Bossy made my life because I only had him as an offensive line coach for 1 year as a freshman, but I went in the Army, and the Army was nothing to me after meeting Judge Bossy. He prepared me for that type of thing. That coach at the Greater Lowell Technical High School, I know he'll never catch George Bossy. George Bossy's got his, 55 years in the business. But I have to commend Tom Cassidy.
He's put a lot of time out there.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of time. I mean, I grew up 2 streets from him, so I'm biased, and I don't hide that. He's got Tom Kaslowski, who was my captain for 2 years there, who, when you mentioned Bobby, I wrestle against Bobby every day, so Kaz too, so.
Well, Tom Cassidy, right, when we had a vote for you when I was on the school committee, Tom Cassidy called me right away. He said, Bob, you got to vote for Lee Gitschier. And you know what? I'm going to say this to you. I couldn't believe the other person didn't get one vote. You got them all.
He got 'em
No,
all,
Jackie
yeah.
got one. She got one.
Did she?
Yeah, she got one.
Oh, I thought you got them all.
No, she
But
got one.
Tom called me right away, and I didn't know you. He said, make sure you vote for this Lee Gitschier. And that name, all of a sudden, Gitschier. I'm like, Lee? Eric? I mean, are you kidding me? You guys are incredible,
Well, the
really.
kids, what happened, and Ned knows this, what happened is the kids grow up, they get older, now you got to do something.
Yeah.
And you got to give back, and, I went to Greater Lowell, so I wanted to give back to Greater Lowell. I mean, I've been pushed, why don't you run for school committee? I'm like, I don't want to do Lowell School Committee. I have no ambition to do that, I don't want that.
Do you know Dave Rook?
I know that, I know who he is, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
he went to the Vogue. Yeah.
I mean, I have no ambition to do that. Like I said to my brother Eric, this is, my last term. It's 4 years. It's over now. That'll give me 10 years there. That's long. That's long enough.
Wow.
Goes by fast, huh?
Yeah, it's time for somebody else to come in and, do something, to do something else. So this is it for me.
You want to run again?
No.
You know something? I'm glad you're doing that right now
It's 10
because
years.
we have to use this show as a platform to tell people, put your name on the ballot.
Yeah, I mean, this
Come on out.
Just go vote today, like John said earlier. Just go vote.
And plus, you figure it's the time you got to cut back on some of your activities too. You
Right.
always,
Well,
I'll
I'll be closing in on 60. It's
Yeah.
time to slow down. And
Yeah.
That's when I started it. My kids are older. My son Justin just graduated from Greater Lowell. My other daughter graduated from the high school. So I'm like, okay, I have time now.
So how many dogs you have?
3.
Just
I still
kidding.
like two St. Bernards, man, those are the best. You know, the cockapoo runs the house party with the St. Bernards, you know.
I have the dog that they have that I just
60
take,
seconds to go, that's the line you get to the right to school.
oh, God, that's where I gotta go vote. But, I can remember the day that Lee came to work at the water department. He just had graduated from Lowell Voc.
I
I was
was,
walking and he says, "Where are the meter readers?"
that lasted for about 6 months, and Tommy Golden's father's like, yeah, you're going to dig holes.
We need you.
We were laughing because Bobby's like, well, how old's Ned? I'm like, well, when I was 17 in '87, I think I went to his 50th
Yeah.
at the Spear House. So let's go backwards. I said so. I said,
38.
he's got to be 85,
86.
86. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
When you see the Rogers School, right, voting like this, you know it's a big day.
Yeah, you know it's gonna
Normally,
be-
they can't get a half a dozen.
You're gonna get a turnout.
Oh, look at the
Oh,
way
yeah.
they go to vote.
John, what was the numbers at the Rogers School last time? Was it like 8? Was that? Am I thinking the church?
Rogers School, never gets a good count.
And you're looking right there. You got about 20.
Well, there's 4 precincts in there.
I've never seen this before. I've
There's
never-
4.
That's right. Never. No way. That would be an all-day number right there. All day. I mean it. They was very slow at that poll.
I was gonna say, was it usually like 100, right, or 80, something like that?
Yeah.
I
it's-
worked there and
Moving in.
they allow them in.
Did you see the Arizona,
It's 7 o'clock, the polls are open.
Yeah.
Arizona election? They have a 2-page ballot. They figure that those results will not be in for a couple of days.
3 weeks, they
What
said.
are you voting on? 2 pages.
Question.
Yeah. I mean,
Questions,
yeah, whatever. We can't get into that.
Yeah,
I think
I
that-
know.
On the vote, I'm told you should offer up your driver's license right away, saves time.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it. Here's my license. Here you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
I don't know
this is
what-
faster than looking at that.
They just scan it right in, and here you go. Off you
Right
go.
up. Yep, I worked there. I
It takes
know
2
that.
seconds. It's like, here you go.
In New Hampshire, it's voter ID is required.
Georgia is too. A friend of mine come from Georgia. And
Hey
it's,
Jeff, if I put a chair over there, will you move over there? Chit chat? Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I gotta,
Oh, yeah, you're out of here, right?
I gotta go to PT at 7:30.
You going
I
on a
can do
break
couple-
pretty soon?
I can do a couple minutes. I can wait a couple more minutes, but I'm gonna have to.
Well, you want to grab a
we
chair?
go to PT for,
Yeah.
I tore my labrum in my hip.
Oh,
you're out of
boy.
work?
Yeah.
You're not out of the union jobs, right?
No. I still.
no.
I still do that every day.
I know that.
That was good, yeah.
You know, every day.
Yeah.
That doesn't stop.
I'll watch the show. All right.
That one doesn't stop.
No, I gotta say, the phone never stops ringing.
All right.
That's the problem.
Use this chair. Just go right in there.
But, it's a tough job. But I can remember when we started swimming on the river, it was the the Voc School.
just slide over a little
Yeah.
toward
The Voc School,
That's the shot. Let me take this.
the Voc School helped us out. The swimming coach, Halsey, and the other guy, I forget the other guy's name. But it's an interesting, they helped, we never would have got that swim race off. When I retired, nobody wanted to do the work. Nobody wanted to do anything. Jeff Town. But, actually, a question I wanted to ask you, Lee, do you think there should be 2 Voc schools?
Yeah, I think we need another school.
Yeah.
Ooh, Ned, you just brought up something.
No, I did, it's not an election.
I think wholeheartedly, the governor and all this, they come out and say they want to, we need more trade. Well, why don't you give us the money? So we're
Yes.
both, like I said earlier, we're doing it.
All talk, no action.
Well,
Thank you.
exactly. I
Thank
agree
you,
with you.
Governor.
We're doing we used ESSA money
Yeah.
to put an extension of the building of 8 classrooms. Basically, what that's going to do for us is people are going to think, oh, we're going to take in more kids. Well, no, I got a waiting list to get electrical and plumbing.
We back on? We're back.
That's not a vote.
Hey, you
so
never
you
left.
can
Your
talk.
mics have been on the whole time.
It's not elected.
So
This is the City Life Show right now, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the City Life Show. Brian, what's your last name?
Jeff.
It's Jeff.
Jeff, how are you?
Tommy.
Jeff Tarmey.
Ned's nephew.
Okay, and in the middle, the man of the hour, Ned Tarmey's back. Nice seeing you, Ned. Tom Bomil, co-host here with me, and Lee Gitschier. And we had a little bit of confusion today, but you know something? I want to get right on an issue Ned just mentioned. Do we need another Lowell trade school? Of course we do. But they don't have enough room for us, and they know that out there. We have the old Lowell trade school, one that I went to, that's supposedly empty right now. Don't let no one take it, Mayor. Danny, we'll keep that school, we're gonna need it. And I'm gonna tell you, the Lowell system, we need people to come out and run. I'll tell you the biggest issues, two issues to me. I spent 7 years on the Lowell School Committee. Number one, you're letting too many kids leave the 3rd grade and they can't read. That's number one.
That's right.
And number two, discipline. And I'm telling you, I learned this from Dr. Kafawi. Every school should have one classroom for discipline problems. And they should be put in that classroom with pros working with them. And those children need to understand how to act in a classroom. That's all I'll say.
This guy, this
Yeah.
give me a weird sound. What's his
Funny he
face?
says that.
This guy,
So,
wonderful.
Bobby, you hit something that kind of went up in my craw, I guess
Good,
I'll
and I
say.
want you to spend the rest of the time talking about it. Go ahead.
Because when you say that about discipline, we had in-house suspension. Well, Desi, there was a walkthrough through Greater Lowell prior to COVID, and they came out with a recommendation that we're too heavy-handed on discipline because we had in-house suspension. So instead of suspending the kid and sending them home, we would put you in the classroom all day. They would go get your work, here you go, here's your work, and here's my in-house suspension teacher. And we actually we removed the job out of the budget this year and moved the in-house suspension to a classroom because Desi doesn't like the discipline portion of it. We've tended to get away from the discipline portion. It basically, Desi drives the bus. And I just had a problem with it because there's no accountability on it. And, you could turn around and tell a teacher off. You get sent down to the disciplinarian and get back in the same classroom with the same teacher. And to the teacher, it looks like, well, you're not doing anything. Well, our hands are tied, we're doing something. But, it goes to, it doesn't go to in-house anymore, Bobby. It goes to okay, you're gonna stay after school for 45 minutes, half hour. Which, I don't know, you put me in a room for 6 hours and bring my lunch to me, I don't think I wanna be in that room. I think that's more of a punishment.
Yeah. When I was there with Kafawi, and that's a while ago, we used to have the Cardinal O'Connor School down on Carter Street, and it was an alternative school. And it was a great school at one time, and then the discipline went down the drain. So Kafawi said, send those 7 children that are taking up that whole school back to the Sullivan School. Let the Sullivan School deal with their own issues. And that's what I'm saying. The way Kafawi said it to me, Dr. Kafawi, was if a school has a classroom, just like, I hate to bring it this way, but people usually pay attention when I say things the way I do. We had a place in prison, if you couldn't get along with the major population, you went to the hole, Department 9. You don't get out of there till you know how to act. Well, the same thing with a student. Put them in a classroom inside the school. You're not shipping them out to some other school. In your own school, don't let them eat with the rest of the kids. Don't let them play with the rest of the kids. You're going to listen because they're not getting it at home. I was one of them, but they had something for me. You get the ruler or the pointer on the back of the hands. You can't do that to children, I understand, but pros can fix a kid in a classroom. So those are my 2 big issues with schools.
We're very fortunate out at Greater Lowell, like I had said last hour. I think we're like 98% attendance rate right now. And I have one of the best guys in the world that goes and gets these kids. They're out 3 days, he's on your door. Tim Fallon, and he's
Oh, yeah.
phenomenal. He has no problem going to the North Adams Project, knocking on the door and said, hey, your child's not here for 3 days. What's going on? Is he sick? We need him back in the classroom. And that helps improve the quality at the school. It includes the MCAS and how people getting along. My big pet is, and Lowell, it needs to start at K through 4. If these kids aren't coming to school, they're not going to learn. Your MCAS scores aren't going to be where they need to be. And I know, you have to be in school to learn. That's the bottom line. And
That's what happened.
you need to get Truett offices, and, maybe it's 2 K through 4 schools, 1 Truett office in 2 schools, and go get these kids and bring them to school. It just has to be done, and that's why I think we're successful out there. The superintendent, Jill and Mike Barton, and everybody at the school does a great job like that. They all work hand in hand. And we try as a school committee to give them whatever they need to get done. We stay out of the way. We're not educators.
Yeah,
We're
pretty sharp, I'll
policymakers.
tell you, because you threw Timmy Fallon's name out there just to crank me up. Give yourself some credit. See, if I ever run for the Greater Lowell Technical High School, first thing I would do, first motion, put a stone or something out there with that kid's name on it, Timmy Fallon. He don't like to hear that from me
It's
either.
crazy across the street. I never seen it. Voting's out the door.
Yeah.
There's two people standing here trying to get in. And I'm not zooming in because it's, I don't want to be able to identify people voting, so.
You know, and I understand how good your school is, my friend. All I'm saying is, in this city, the 7 years I spent on the school committee, and I'm glad to hear you getting out of it pretty soon. That's a good thing to go off into the sunset sooner or later. But Lowell, you
Room
almost,
for Bobby.
no,
Well, I think we've already made that hint.
hey, Lowell,
Bobby, in 4 years,
excuse
it's
me,
yours.
Lowell's got about 15,000 children, the same amount of children at the college. That's why when you look at how much we pay the people, look and see what they pay the person that do the college. We got 15,000 right in our system.
We get
And-
15 now?
This is my
Yeah.
Joe and his wife Ann going to, I think that's his daughter, Apple. I don't think that's Ann going.
He always has a daughter when he votes.
It could be his wife Ann, I think it's his daughter, though. And he's going in to vote early. Busy day at work today.
Every time I worked there, he worked. Before we go any farther,
Go
my
ahead.
nephew has joined us at the table. He's got an interesting life. He's a pilot. He worked at UPS, but tell about the program you do up north on Saturdays for the kids with the plane, Jeff.
Well, I mean, the first thing I'd say is you're talking trade schools, and I think they're truly important. I know for the company that I work for, UPS, we struggle every day trying to get people to come in, and we're talking about truck drivers, skilled jobs, mechanics, and you know, when these jobs go up, I mean, you think we had armed guards around the building. We just can't get them in, and because kids today just, you know, they don't want to work 9 to 5 or 7 to 5 and drive a truck or get their hands dirty. Mechanics. I have a mechanic friend who's shutting down his shop in Chelmsford because he just can't get help. Kids just don't come in and want to be mechanics, and he pays well. I mean, a company like UPS, a driver can make $130,000 a year, and it just doesn't mean anything to anybody. So
You gotta be in shape to be a truck driver at UPS, though.
no, look at me. I'm not in shape, but I did good.
You
know,
fly- you-
rounds of shape.
You fly planes for UPS?
No, I drove trucks, tractor
Okay.
trailers at the end of the career. So yeah,
God bless you, because everybody I know that ever did that job is in top shape.
yeah, no, it's you do it. Yeah, you have to be fit.
Yeah, but he had some
But
health
he's
problems.
had some health issues over the last couple of years. But that being said, no, one of the things that I do, I've been flying airplanes since 1977. I started in a small field in Salem, New Hampshire. I don't know if anybody knew that, up by the old Rockingham Park, but started flying there as a kid, and currently I go up on weekends up to Franconia, New Hampshire, and we fly gliders or sailplanes, airplanes without motors, and I fly the airplane that tows those up so they can enjoy flying them. So it's really beautiful up in the North Country, and one of the things that I'm really involved in is getting young people interested in aviation, including you know, high school kids, engineering students, and try to push them in a career path towards aviation. So that's one of the things I continue to do in retirement, and I really enjoy it. So yeah, but back to the trades. Very important, very important. I don't know exactly how Lowell handles it, Drake it, but it should be pushed amongst these kids very early on in life, because it's very rewarding, and truly it pays very well. More than most college students earn, you know, leaving college. So yeah, so that's it. That's it for me.
You know, and that's why when I was talking numbers, I know the Greater Lowell Technical High School, I mean, it speaks for itself. But when you get 15,000 children, 28 different schools, you have 70 different languages, you have quite a field of problems. And discipline to me has to come up. I just get this off teachers. I'm not in the classroom. They're just telling me, you know, I always say to them, how come you're not getting these kids reading by the time they get to the fourth? Of course, their hands are tied. But that's the problem. Fix it. Liam Skinner and John McDonough were going back and forth here. He's the superintendent of our schools, Jeff. And they were both hitting the nail right on the head. You know, but Liam Skinner says, well, we should be fixing it. Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you right now. 3rd grade, focus hard on it. If they can get them all reading, if you can't, some of them need to stay back. I faked my way through, folks, all the way to my junior year in high school. Couldn't read. A lot of people have a problem reading. I don't know what it is. I think I have 4 or 5 things. Bipolar, ADHD, whatever you name. I got them all. I know I do. I read things, I have to read it 40 times to retain it. But it took me 70 years, and I still have a hard time when he tells me, I think he does that to test me. Read this next one. Read this next one. But you can't send them to the 4th grade, period, if they can't read. Because you're going to do what I do. I quit school. Went in the Army, and they gave it to me in a Cracker Jack box. We don't even take kids in the Army anymore.
Unless they have a degree, high school degree.
Yeah, you got to have a high school.
Bobby,
Try to get in the Air Force. Try
You know,
that one.
Bobby, if the public school system in Lowell, where you speak about kids that can't read, do they have an after-school program for them or something to concentrate, get them to read better? Do they have, I think you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
Do they
well,
have-
think of this, Tom, right? We hired tutors, which finally they do. They gave them a pay
Right.
raise. Tutors are retired teachers.
Right.
Best thing, they give them, they were making $30 an hour. Think of that. We pay people 50 to 100 to watch potholes. We give a tutor $30 an hour. They raised them to 40.
There's a pothole.
You should see what a tutor can do to 4 children sitting at a table. They can teach them how to do it. I think to get more of them, you're going to have to raise their pay a little bit. I'm sorry.
So they do address the issue. That's
Right,
good
but
because.
think of this, since you brought that up, speech pathologists, very important to teach someone how to read. We're shy about 8 or 9 of them. Shy. It's just,
It's
it's the school
very,
committee. It's the school committee.
it's very hard to hire a teacher, even East Grade Lowell, it's even worse for the trades right now, because people are making money out in the work world, and they're not making, they're not making what the teacher's making. They're making a killing out there. And the teachers, and I'm not saying they're underpaid, I'm not saying they're overpaid, but for us to go out and get a plumbing teacher or an electrician to come into that classroom and teach for call it 20,000. It's not gonna happen when he's making $180 out there.
Yeah.
And it's just not gonna happen, and then the ones you do get coming back in, well, why are they coming for a cut in pay? You know what I mean? Did you get booted off the job? Is it attendance? What is it? You know, and you have to be very careful, and unfortunately, that's the problem. Bobby, you're 100% right. I mean, we went the tutor route at Greater Lowell. We with the ESSA money, we just hired at will tutors to come in and help because we couldn't add that to the budget. You just can't. It's not responsible going down the road because now you're on the hook for all of it. And Bob, you're 100% right. The tutors are the keys, but we don't keep kids back anywhere. I don't think it happens at Greater Lowell. I've asked the question. They go to summer school. And they get their credits there, and off they go to the next one. Off they go to the next grade. Now, the thing, what happens...
What if they don't pass summer school? Do
They pass summer school, Tom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
They pass summer school.
It's like they learned to read, a miracle over the summer they learned to read.
Yeah, they pass.
I want to jump to UPS for a real second, Lee.
All right.
Lee, thank you, man. That's always-
I get 10 minutes.
Okay, but UPS, I had a friend going back a few years ago, her name's Laura, I won't say her last name, but she worked there doing packages and got in great shape, and went to Lowell, came out number 2 in CPA, Certified Public Accountant, and UPS paid for everything.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Nope. It's anybody have an 18-year-old son or daughter who don't really know what they want to do with their life? I mean, UPS is a great place to start. I'm not here. This isn't a service announcement for UPS by any stretch of the imagination, but UPS, they'll give you the same shift every day to start part-time, say 3 hours a day, give you the same shift every day, so you're not jumping around. One day you work 1 o'clock in the afternoon, the next day you work 1 o'clock in the morning. It's nothing like that. If you go in there and work, say, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. every single day, Monday through Friday, you work 13, 15 hours a week. It's a steady paycheck. They give you full health benefits, time off. You start earning a pension right from the very beginning. And it's just a great career path for that person that doesn't know if I want to go to college, don't know if I want to be a tradesman, but it gives you an opportunity. and to, decide what you want to do. Yet you're earning money, you have health benefits, and then there's different career paths you can go on. You can be a truck driver, you could be going to management, you could be an accountant, you could be an attorney. It's just not delivering packages. I mean, there's engineering jobs. It's just a great career. So anyway, that's not a service announcement for UPS. I apologize
Well,
to
it should be.
UPS.
UPS,
But
when you look at
good
Prime,
company.
Prime will park on your glass, they don't care where they park, they can block the street. The UPS guys have courtesy, they just park in a good spot.
Yeah. So, and
Superior
it's
company.
yeah. So anyway, well, thanks for asking about that. But back to the schools a little bit, if you don't mind.
That's what I was saying. I had a nephew that worked for UPS, and he told me they had this, it was like a sort of a joke contest that how long they'd wear their shorts, and if you didn't wear your shorts,
Oh, jeez.
yeah,
Yeah, I know. I know. It's
Don't be afraid to stay on the schools. Normally, all we think about is donuts.
Yeah,
Donut
yeah,
shop, this place here, we do that.
But I do want to say something, and it's just my observation. I have 2 grandchildren, and I had kids in the school system, and I really, truly believe, and it's going to be controversial, that I think electronic devices are ruining kids today early.
absolutely.
That's socially.
Yep, absolutely.
No parent, our parents never had contact with us. You'll get arguments from parents saying that they
Take care, Lee.
Thank you so much, man. See you
Hey,
later.
thanks, Lee.
Have a good day too, buddy.
Hey.
Take care.
I don't walk as bad as you, Lee.
That's the problem.
Hey, well, good luck.
But
I'll shoot
back
you- I'll shoot
to
you a
electronic devices and
Thanks, Lee.
Thanks, John.
back to electronic devices
Yeah.
and these kids today they're not social. They're actually, it's turning them to antisocial. But more importantly, when you say someone leaves the 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, not able to read, I think one of the major reasons is because of devices. I mean, back when we were kids, and I never want to say, well, back in the old days, but we used to have to go get our information out of encyclopedias and in the library. And when you picked up an encyclopedia, or even if you were looking up rockets, as you're thumbing through the pages, you're seeing other things that are of interest. And it may not just be rockets, it may be something else. And, when you stop and you read about that, and your brain, just by reading, 2 or 3 pages in an encyclopedia is helpful in the learning experience.
Guess what
Today,
I
they
wanna
they can Google the answer,
I want to just debate that just a little bit. I think,
Hold off for a second there.
Freddie Jeffers.
Freddie Jeffers in the audience this morning, crowded table this morning. The mayor chimed in this morning. This is from Danny Rook. Good morning, all. Excellent show this morning. Just wanted to welcome Ned back. He looks and sounds great. Very happy to see him doing well. Have a wonderful day, and make sure you get out and vote. Thanks, Danny.
Jeff, I got 5 grandchildren, and I do look at the phone a lot, and I do believe tic-tac and all that stuff, everything you said, but I think adults are just as bad.
Oh, absolutely.
We're just as
absolutely,
bad. We're not
absolutely.
showing them. And I think another thing we do you remember, I know Tom would remember this, we used to have to stand up in front of the class to read.
Absolutely.
And that's why I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do that. I was going to make every girl in that classroom laugh, and then I'd go out and take my hits.
No, I remember.
That's what I did.
I remember standing up in class and spelling words, and the teacher would say,
Spelling bee, yeah, spelling word.
You'd have spelling bee, and nobody made fun. I mean, kids, it wasn't chuckle, oh, he can't spell Christmas, but it was, no, it was really important, and I don't know, I think there's something missing, and it shows in the results, with this testing, and, I'm concerned. I'm just concerned. I have a son-in-law right now, and he doesn't listen to this show, so I'm happy to. I'm not worried about saying it, but he's 33 years old, and I mean, he writes like he's blindfolded. I mean, I don't even know. He can't write a sentence, and it's just horrible, and he's not mentally challenged, not anything. He was not educated, and they let him leave his high school with a diploma, and he can't read and write, and it's a shame. It's a shame, and it's really hurting him in life. And so that's.
My grandchildren came over
Well,
last
don't be
night. They're
afraid.
going to be
Don't
over
be
again
afraid to
today.
talk about
They
schools.
walk in last night and they give us a hug and a kiss. My
Yeah.
Grammy Jaju, and the next first question, can we use your phone?
Yeah.
Or the iPad,
Yeah.
and they'll do the same today when they come over. They come in today, we're babysitting them today because it's election day, and we get the hug and the kiss, and they go, can I use your phone? But then we have a rule, when we're having lunch or anything, phones go away.
Yeah.
You know, but it's the parents' fault too.
Yeah.
It's not just.
Well, I'm very proud to say, and Ned can confirm this. I'm very proud to say that when we're at a table in my family, I have older children now. My daughter's 37, but my grandchildren, and Ned can confirm this. Nobody's on the phone when we're sitting in a restaurant or
Right.
sitting at the dinner table, and then my daughter has a steadfast rule. By about 7 o'clock at night, including the adults, they put their phones on the charger, and no one goes to bed with them. No one has them in their bedroom. So,
Sit at a bar, sit at a restaurant, or in
Yeah,
a
all
restaurant,
four
sit at a
are
bar,
reading.
and they're all around.
Mother,
the bar,
father, and the kids.
The couples are on
I
their
see
phone.
people on their first dates. They're 25 years
Exactly,
old and they're
exactly.
on their first dates. I mean, I can't imagine what's so important on your phone that you
Yep.
can't give
Yep.
that guy or gal or an hour of your time. I
Exactly.
can't imagine. You're not that important, and nobody's that important. So anyway,
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I see the same thing. I have an eight-year-old granddaughter, 3rd grade, and as soon as she comes to the house, she wants my wife's phone to play games.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I know she can read at that level easy. She's at maybe a 5th or 6th grade level at reading. So to me, that's how you in this world, we're never getting rid of an iPhone.
no.
Never.
No,
It's
we'll
good.
never get rid of them, but we certainly
What you said is great.
there's no reason why we can't limit the use. And back to the school teacher. The school teacher should have some control as well.
Well, they do, I think, is it Lowell? No, is it Lowell? They have to put them, they
They
can't
had
use them,
to-
right?
yeah, they
Lowell High?
stopped
Or was
it,
it
yeah.
Drake, one of them, you
Lowell
gotta
stopped
hand
it.
it in.
I think the
At the end
divorce
of
rate
all.
will,
Yeah.
I think the divorce rate will be, it won't be as much as it is now, because I think we have a lot of people that divorce. I think the phones are gonna help that. People will stay married longer because they don't talk to each other. I'm serious. I'm going on 49 years, and I think the phone has helped me stay in the house. Because I think without a phone, I'd drive my wife crazy.
But also these employees, like my
It's
wife
just-
worked at the courthouse, and she said it, not only the secretarial staff, the bosses, they had their phones. I mean, maybe there should be a rule when you can't use them at work or something, or only in your lunch hour, but nobody will do that. Somebody will sue them, and it'll be a big giant suit, and,
The phone shouldn't work if it's moving over 5 miles an hour.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
That'd be a good idea, too.
Yeah,
The government wants to know nothing about I'm not gonna talk about any government officials personally today, because we got our restrictions cooking. We'll take a minute.
Okay, buddy?
But John, you might even see it at wakes. Wakes,
Oh, they're sitting there
people
reading-
using their phones, right?
Reading your
Even
phone
at
while
wake.
they're waiting.
Tommy, this is a worldwide issue. I was over in Russia, St. Petersburg, Russia. We went to this little bake shop, and they have all these nice treats. They like walking in any bake shop. Their kids, the girls who are working there, their kids are sitting on milk crates, just like you see here, behind the counter against the wall, all on their phones, not talking to each other. These are little kids, like 10 years old. Of course, we were there like summertime, so the kids were out, but it's a global issue, and nobody wants to do anything about it.
I believe it's here to stay. We have to work around it somehow. You're right, Jeff, it does. I think what you said, you should do that at your home. You're having a meal, put the phones down, everybody, but it's not happening in every home, but
Yeah.
If you had a landline, the phone rang, and it was, the parents said, tell them to call you back, you're having your supper.
Oh, you didn't answer the phone. The phone
Yeah, you
didn't
didn't answer the phone.
My
yeah.
father said, let that phone ring. And there was no
It's
answer
important,
machine.
they'll call back
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
That's true. That's what.
But I will say, the kids just, boy, I tell you, the life I had as a kid, I couldn't imagine another kid today not wanting to have the life I had playing with the kid, playing ball. I mean, I was a kid in Brockton, Mass. Before I was 14 years old, and we just had the greatest neighborhood of kids. We played every single day. We were outdoors, and they always said, come home. We came home for dinner at 5, but when we went back outside, we came home when the lights came on.
Yeah,
And
we all did
people
that.
people laugh about that, and they don't understand that, but it was the truth. It was the truth, and today when we leave here today, and I know it's a Tuesday, but any day, every baseball field is empty from here to home. You know, there's no kids out there playing.
Nobody's. I live right next to a park, and the only thing you see there at the park is when they're practicing for soccer. No kids playing.
Yeah, but kids on bikes. I mean, kids on bikes riding their bikes. I mean, my goodness gracious.
Now they're running in and out of traffic. I have the scanner at home all the time, and at least 5 times a day, I just go to Middlesex or go to the street. They ride dodging traffic with their bikes.
Yeah.
Somebody's
Scaring
going to
the hell
get
out of the
killed.
drivers,
Somebody's going to get killed, and it's the driver that's going to suffer for it, because if he kills that kid, he's going to live with that for the rest of
Tommy,
his
I
life.
love that point, especially when it rains. All the kids say, let's put a black outfit on and go bike riding in the rain.
I live near a baseball field, and I'm not afraid to talk to children or kids or playing in the park. If I see them doing the wrong thing, or if I know their mother, I'll go talk to them. And that's what I think we had as kids in those neighborhoods.
You went to the park all
Yes, last night I was in Market Basket. I met a
me
girl, and
too.
we started to talk about her mother. I could say the first name, Lottie. In my neighborhood, she caught me smoking a butt. I'm telling you, Dad, we had people that come out of the woodwork all around our neighborhood to keep us from doing the wrong things. Even though once it got dark, if we didn't go home, like you said, the lights come on, well, I didn't go home all the time when the lights came on, but you were supposed to.
Yeah, you're supposed to.
You know, you're going to pay at the other end, but I always liked paying the price. I didn't care. I'd rather be down fishing. I loved the Concord River. My whole life I did that, but neighborhoods used to come out and do things. Now people are afraid to even open their mouth.
The neighbors knew what you did.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell your mother, and they wouldn't call up and tell the parents, you know?
That's my favorite part right now of living where I do live, because when you're good to the kids, like let's say they need their football pumped up with air or their tires flat and they come by your garage and you help them, it pays dividends. It does, because you don't want the kids in your neighborhood against you. That's for sure. And some people will call the cops right away over any issue, and then they wonder why things happen to their house and stuff, because kids know. They know. Believe me, they know.
The
Comment from the audience, without devices, how can we text into this fine show?
You can call in.
No phone calls.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Cell phones are great babysitters. Keeps a little kid occupied for hours.
So aren't mom and dads.
Yeah.
They're great babysitters too. So,
So everybody's going to find an excuse.
yeah. So it's funny. I want to just tell you that it's just the generation we're living in now. About a month ago, I was going down Route 3, down from Manchester, heading towards Lowell, and on the side of the road, I saw a broken down car. And what got my attention was it was a young girl in a dress, and she's got the trunk open. Clearly, she has a flat tire. So I pull up behind her and to offer my help. And I get out of the car, and she's fumbling a little bit in the trunk to get the tire and everything out. And I offered my help, and she was appreciative. I don't know where she was heading, but she was dressed up in the morning, so she may have been going to church or wherever. But anyway, as I get a little closer to the car and I'm offering my help, and I look in the passenger seat, and there is her boyfriend, probably this 25-year-old kid, and he's just sitting in the passenger seat on his cell phone while she's out of the car changing a tire.
Wow.
So I said to her, I said something to the effect like, what about him? And she made some mumbled remark like, well, there's not much more of what about him, because this is coming to an end. She's pretty aggravated that he would get out of the car to help.
Yeah.
So as I'm helping, I knocked on the window, and I could hardly get the kid to even look at me, 25 years old. And so finally I said, hey, why don't you get out of the car and at least watch what's going on here, right? Learn something. And he was pretty aggravated with me. But anyway, we got the tire changed. He had no chivalry whatsoever, had no interest in helping his girlfriend change this tire.
Wow.
And I mean, I hope she really sent him on his way, but
Same line. I was coming up John's favorite overpass up here, the what's he call it up here?
The Lord cover-up.
Girl broke down right in the middle in the road, and I was right behind her, so I pulled over. I said, "Listen, do you need help?" She says, "I have AAA coming, but you're the first person to stop and ask me if you needed help."
Yeah.
It was the poor thing. She was stuck right in the middle of the road. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I tend to pull over.
I think
there.
people are afraid too, because there's so many nuts out there.
No.
It just.
No, I help as often as I can.
I try.
I'm a big advocate. I wouldn't want my daughter broken down on the side of the road and nobody stopped to help.
I think it's a big part of all our lives. It's called common courtesy.
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
We had a lot of that.
And it was nothing I learned. I mean, but well, I guess it was because my dad would always help. My dad would help anybody. He was the first guy to see some guy struggling in the neighborhood and go over and offer help. So,
sure.
But for me, I have to pull over. I have to pull over in most cases. I understand when it's a situation, a certain group of people, and I'll say, well, they're going to have to take care of that on their own. But
You don't help the Hell's Angel change a bike tire.
I would if she was pretty enough.
Tom, you mentioned Lord's Overpass. That's what I always called it.
There'll always be that.
And it's funny because I know John McDonough has said a lot of negative things about it over the years, the construction, but I leave my house up in Stratham Street in South Lowell and go to Lowell High School. I just stay on the right side all the way. I get there so quick. I get there so quick, it's unbelievable. I'm serious. And I was
Who are you
against
trying
it.
to kid, Bob?
I'm telling you right now, and I go on about a scale of about 10 times, 7 times, it's clear sailing.
I'll tell you.
10 minutes.
I love the bus lane. We use it for funerals. It works fantastic.
There you go.
Buses don't use it, but I'm so
They're
happy.
supposed to. The buses are supposed to.
And
So but they don't. The ambulances too.
Can you, Tommy, you're on the bus board.
yeah.
Also, can you brag about the free, when is the free ride start?
And I
They're
told you,
going a long time.
December 1st. And that's going to be for 10 months. But I got to find out because I know I've heard this from other people. The bus lane is not being used. I was told that it's something to do with the communication system. Let me follow up on that today, and I'll have an answer for you next week.
Okay, no.
Probably
but
about
tell us about
smart
the
lights.
free bus ride coming up in December.
It's December. It's going to be a 10-month program. We're going to have free rides, free transportation, LRTA. It was through a grant from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The governor signed it, I believe, 2 Thursdays ago. And some towns are already, some cities, some RTAs are already doing it. We start December 1st. And the reason why we have to start December 1st is because we want to get it out there that there's going to be free rides, so the kids wouldn't be buying their bus passes and all that stuff. So
It's like Lawrence, free rides.
Yeah.
Is that optional, or is it just if you can't afford it, you can ride
No,
the bus?
anybody can.
Anybody, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great program. Good.
So
Yeah.
it was some grant or something that I don't know if the governor got it through the federal government or whatever, but and believe it or not, some RTAs refused it, meaning regional transit authorities throughout
Right
the
here,
state. They
through
didn't want it.
September
Tommy,
10th.
how are you going to kick the
Why would they refuse it?
bums off the bus? How are you going to kick the bums off?
What's that?
How are you going to kick the bums
I
off?
addressed that at the last meeting. They, like anybody else, if you get on the bus, the last stop, you got to get off. That's you're not going to be driving right. So what you don't. If they say to you, "What, you missed your stop?"
Yeah.
No, then you got to get off here. If you don't, you're not going to. That's how they're going.
So
And that's why some of the RTAs didn't take it because they figured it was going to be a
I
problem with
see,
homeless.
yeah.
So they could take it to Kennedy Station, let's say down here, right? But then get back on another bus if they wanted to.
Yeah, but there's
So
going
there's-
to be.
yeah.
I believe they're going to increase security for those reasons, but we have security with. So
Garage,
yeah.
I-
Oh, it's right there. It even says.
yeah.
They're trying to make,
I saw Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll, one of the finalists for the city town manager's job, worked for her about 10 years ago, not in the when she was the mayor of Salem. Yeah.
She tried to
What
drive
is the
a ticket.
What is the ridership on the Lowell transit buses per day?
Oh, I'd have to get the figures for it, but it's busy. And in fact, it'll get busier once we get the free rides, obviously, because more people use it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like there's just 2,000 people ride a day,
Oh,
5,000
easy.
people.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Especially with students.
Oh, no
With
kidding.
Students.
Oh, good.
We have the students take it too, the ones that, like at the Lowell High School. And they're not on the regular yellow buses. It's for regular RTA buses.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a few buses that ride the kids back to the
It's
school.
too bad they can't incorporate the transit system into the school bus system, for using the same buses to transport kids to the schools.
talk
Well,
about,
we do for the high school. There is a
Yeah.
deal we have with, but not, I don't think the regular schools, right, Bobby?
I don't think, but respectfully, Chelmsford High, LRTA doesn't do Chelmsford High, do you, Tom?
I'd have to say no, to the best
You
of my
don't do
knowledge.
Drake and you don't do Tewksbury High?
No, that's all yellow buses, yeah.
What would it take for the town of Tewksbury to have you do their high school?
I think negotiations, or the representative, Mark Crapman, would have to get together with the administrator and see if there's another thing I can follow up on you, I'll ask that question.
Yeah, how could the others, because the buses, when I look at them, is this mucho room. The time I've ridden on them, mucho room. It's clean as a whistle, bus drivers are all friendly and helpful, but there's plenty of, you can have.
And it's all, again, it depends on the time of the day. Right now, you probably see packed buses, but by mid-morning, it's probably dies until about 4 or 5 o'clock, and then they're packed and people going home, you know?
Well, same thing with the trains. Very early in the morning,
Yeah.
they're packed.
Oh, yeah.
Middle of the day, there's
There's nobody
there.
on the train.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you can't take your bike on the train after 9:30 till 3:30. You can take it on the slow times.
It's beautiful between 3 and, let's say, 6 o'clock. Every one of your highways are like parking lots.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get a lot of people to take a
Bobby,
bus.
your wife's electric bike. I'm told some bikes they can go 65 miles on a charge. How far can you get on her bike for a charge?
About 50 miles. But
50 miles.
the real good ones that you see get 20, 25 miles, not a lot. The bigger ones with bigger tires, there's some great ones. My grandson has one now. It's beautiful. It can do about 30, but you're only going to get 22 miles. Michelle's
How
little
long
one,
you take to
How
charge?
with that, Bobby?
How long does it take to charge that thing?
a couple hours,
Okay.
you know. I always,
So I could ride it to work.
oh, yeah. A lot of people are using bikes in Boston and those
Charging
cities
at
like
work.
that, but most people use their car in Lowell.
Yeah,
How
well,
many
winter
people-
time's coming, it's more practical.
You
to
talk
get
about
inside.
parking all the time. I know houses around me that have 8 vehicles in a house.
Oh, I see some of the.
8 of them.
Over
Yeah,
there.
today's gonna be
Over in the swamp.
Yeah.
70 degrees out, beautiful day for a bike ride. And those electric bikes, as my grandmother said, they're cockers.
What's a dying breed? I've talked about the last show. I was in Boston about a month ago with my wife to see a show. We stayed over a couple of nights. Taxi cabs in Boston, dying breed. It's
Oh,
all
yeah,
Uber.
yeah.
Well, you see me, I might have saw 2 or 3 cabs, and the rest is Uber.
I know, that's true. That's true. The a story for last Thursday night, I drove to Boston. We were going to a concert at the Boston Garden on a Thursday night. So we're driving down at 6 and for a 7 o'clock show, and we're running a little bit behind. We actually were at a wake prior, so we had to leave a little later, but we get down there and I'm anticipating a parking problem, right? I mean, there always is. And, sometimes you can pay 50, 60 bucks to park for one of these events. And I pull up to the garden, I get a meter. Never in my life have I driven to Boston and gotten a meter.
Wow.
So, of course, I pay the meter, I put the ticket in the window, whatever, and I'm looking around for signs on poles, like I'm waiting to, like as though this is some kind of private parking spot or something.
Yeah.
But there I am, right in front of the Boston, right behind the Boston
Right,
Garden.
right.
And I'm sitting in a meter, and it cost me $5 to park. First time ever.
And when do they stop ticketing in Boston?
Probably 8 o'clock,
Okay,
at night
yeah.
or something.
Right.
But
Lowell now,
uh,
it's 8, huh? I believe.
But I mean,
Yeah.
Lowell's 8 now.
I went to Fenway last year, and some of the parking garages closest to Fenway are getting up to $100 to park a car now.
You know, I drove Uber for about 5 years, drove a taxi for 10. My dad drove one for 45 years.
Yeah.
I was blown away this week at Boston University. Go there at noontime and just go down Commonwealth Avenue and see how many people are in that school.
Oh.
Unbelievable. I never seen so many people.
They own almost all of Kenmore Square. They almost own all the buildings.
You know, it's funny, Ned, I went to Boston College, did a little tour there, I was with the wife, and I wanted to go by BU, and when we got there at noon, it was unreal. All of those schools are over 80 grand a year.
I know. I know. There's we're looking for colleges now for my granddaughter, and they're nothing less than $40,000 a year now. Even the state schools, when you take in all the labs and books and everything, nothing under $40,000 a year. I don't know how families are doing it. We're lucky we've saved, but I don't know how families are doing it, and I don't know why many of these kids want to take on $250,000 in debt to get educated. Something's got to change. I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know why they're doing it. I don't know how they're doing it. But it's unbelievable. And if you have 3 or 4 children all going to college at about the same time, I don't know how the families are doing it, because never imagined school being, 40, 50, 60, 70, $80,000 a year.
yeah.
That's just crazy. That's just crazy,
That's why you need good guidance counselors that teach kids where to look for these, grants.
Does anybody know what UMass Lowell is now a year? Is it?
No, I know engineering, it's a good engineering school without
Yeah.
a doubt, but you got one like, let's say, a private school like Wentworth in Boston, you could get a decent price there, maybe 50, 60 grand.
Wow.
Because if you go to Northeastern, you're looking at 88,000, Boston College,
Yeah, Danny wrote
85.
for me, it's
Schools.
kids
I
there.
looked it up, Lowell. I could be wrong. I mean, people can look it up, but I think I saw it in state. It was like $26,000
Yeah,
a year.
that's about right.
When I went there, when my freshman year, it was $75.
Yeah, yeah.
Keith
You know,
Academy
it's-
was $50.
Yeah, something about you, Lowell, about engineering, though, I had a nephew that went to the Eisenberg School down there in Amherst.
Low.
Yeah.
If I'm reading this wrong, in-state is $16,000 a year, out-of-state is $35,000.
That's what we saw, that's what it is.
I thought it was a little higher than 16, but yeah, but
The trick is, when you get out, do you have a job? That's the thing that's hurting a
But
lot
they
of
don't
people.
get paid that much as some of these jobs. Even engineers, they start them well, maybe they start them now at 60 or 70, but I can remember they were paying them 40, and I was working in the city, and I was making 75 or something,
But remember this now, the problems that you have, you can say you can make $60,000 or $70,000. I can honestly tell you that $60,000 or $70,000 is not a lot of money
No,
anymore.
no.
I mean, it
in this
is,
day and age,
it
no.
is, these kids today have to be prepared to be high earners, and you can still earn that in the trades, but I mean, never in my lifetime did I ever believe. I know now I have these kids in my life that are all searching for homes and trying to get started. And when the median house of homes now are $500,000-$600,000 in this area, and we're talking about $3,000 a month mortgages, $4,000 a month
And the homes
mortgages.
aren't that fantastic.
And they're not that fantastic.
There's home in my neighborhood, and I live in a decent neighborhood, but the home is what I would call a regular ranch-type house, 500 grand.
And now they're saying and so that's that, and then, so that's the home buying. I don't know where they're gonna get the money for that.
Right.
And then you have, they're saying the average car payment now in this country is $800 and $850 a month. I mean, who'd have ever thought that was gonna happen? And, you throw in $200 a month for TV, $200 a month for phone, the cost of energy. I'll tell you, I'm worried. I'm really, really worried about the next generation, because I just don't know where the money is going to come from.
I was at my favorite place last night, Market Basket, right? I go there at least 3 times a week, or every
Which
other.
one, Bobby?
The one in Tewksbury, Stadium Plaza, and I was out of tea. Lipton tea is what I liked my whole life. And when I went there last night, Lipton tea, 100 tea bags, $4.49. Right next to it, Market Basket, 2 for $4. I took one just to try it. No different, black tea. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Tastes just like the Lipton.
Yeah.
That supermarket, we're very lucky to have that place in Lowell, Tewksbury, all over the place. But Market Basket, I'll tell you, looking like Roach Brothers, they're selling. They just sold to the person that supplied them their food. And Market Basket just keeps taking care of us. Again, I know this kid in the aisle, his name's Joe, a junior at BU, been working at Market Basket forever. Pretty soon he'll be running one, making a couple $100 grand. They retire. Some kids retire out of Market Basket with $1 million pension. Total.
Those are the
all
original
of it.
ones, way
Pardon
back.
me?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, they do. Oh, yeah,
Great bonus
unbelievable.
plan. My son works there, great bonus plan. He treats his employees good. Adi Tamus is a very approachable guy. I've had conversations with the guy.
I've talked to him a few
Yeah.
times.
nice-
I talk about him a lot, and I met him one time just driving his Chevy
McDonough.
Impala.
If you didn't know him, you never think he was just a regular.
This looks like his
My
father
six
now.
pack.
He looks like his
My
father
mother was
now.
one of the original employees back 60, 70, whatever. And she worked for them part-time for 40 years, and her pension was $171 a month.
Yeah.
After 4, but this, of course,
And they
her,
get a bonus
hers-
every month from
her started in the
part-time employees,
1950s, but
From the cashier all the way up to
Yeah,
the manager,
yeah,
they get a
yeah.
bonus at Christmas time, and
Yeah.
and they got it. I hear about 3 or 4 months ago he gave out an extra bonus because of
A new store.
COVID. No, the COVID. How everybody
Tommy,
came
grab
back
that
to
mic, will you? Pull it closer to you.
yeah.
The COVID comeback. He gave another bonus out. You know,
No, I think
so.
I think it's a great store. Again, we're doing free commercials for Market Basket, but the
I mean, I was going to say, Hannaford's a good store, too. I mean, I go to
No,
both.
they're
I go to
good.
both. Hannaford has a lot more to offer, I think. It's a little more expensive. They have more to offer, I think, on the line of products sometimes, where you can get something you can't find at Market Basket, but they're just as good.
well, I think the key with Market Basket, and they can send me a check if they want, for all this pitch, but the best part about them is they always have plenty of employees. You go to other supermarkets, other chain department stores, and you'd be hard pressed to find a cashier to cash out. One thing about Market Basket, if they have 21 aisles, they have 21 cashiers, and I think that's really terrific. And then the other thing they do really well, it's a great sandwich shop. You get prepared foods, and and the prices are reasonable. So it's an important store for, especially like the inner city.
Right.
And I hear people complaining about it, but they're great stores. They're great stores. So
And you got to the manager, if you ask for something, he'll walk over and show you where it is.
Oh, yeah. I think Jeff had hit the nail right in the head, and I think the main reason why I love Market Basket is the staff.
yeah,
The
Yeah.
kids they hire.
yeah.
I always say they should have tip jars. I know they did out in 1975 in Colorado at the end where the kids bagging. Would have a white little jug and you could throw a nickel quarter dime. They should have tip jars
Yeah.
there. Bank tellers, another group of people, underpaid.
Yeah.
TD Bank, underpaid. I call corporate sometime just to complain what they pay those people to put up with people like me.
I actually
Crazy.
saw that in the parking lot. They'll have a kid come out with, say, an elderly person or something to help with their groceries.
yeah.
And I saw the person, and he said, we can't take tips.
yeah,
You can't
yeah.
imagine, who's going to know? But unless the cameras will be, he said, I can't take it from you. He said, so,
But they, anyway, great store, and they brag about their employees as well, because if you go, and I don't know if you've seen this, but everybody wears a badge, and on there it'll tell you,
How many years?
21
Yeah.
years,
Yeah.
30 years. So they're very, people that work for them are very loyal to them. So.
Oh, loyal, you can't.
Yeah, and that's a key to a good business, right? If you're, if you're retaining employees for long periods of time, I mean, that's a key to a good successful business. Other businesses would learn a lot from that. There's other businesses out there that just, don't mind the turnover, because they don't have to pay the high salaries and the big vacation times but companies like Demoulas and UPS that I talked about earlier, they retain employees for quite a long time, so.
Yeah, and that's Market Basket that time. Remember how they came to bat for him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Talk
Yeah.
about loving your boss, right?
Yeah.
That's right, that's right,
Yeah.
And they just go in there, and the people were very, very friendly. They were going to Hannaford's and everything else other than Market Basket. But then once Market Basket got, the strike was over, they were all back
Well,
there.
in fact, I remember going into Market Basket because I was right down the street from it, and the store manager says, please don't go in. They didn't want us to go in
Right,
because of the feud, because of the other.
Yeah.
They didn't want us to go in, so I remember them standing out there, and it was, so.
Yeah.
Natty Demoulas he's gone to people's wakes that I know, the people that work for him, And then people retire, he shows up, if they have a party for them. But,
Yeah.
Demoulas, and let me tell you something.
And he is, I
Demoulas
think,
is like, he helped more businesses in the city get started.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to know what's going to happen when he does retire. I mean, I know he has. I think he only has daughters. I'm not sure. Does he have a son? Do you know, Ned?
I don't
he has
know
daughters.
that.
I don't even know if
It
they're.
was-
I think they're involved with the business, but you
Yeah.
know, nowadays kids
Kids
want to
don't
do their
wanna
own
work.
thing. Yeah.
You know,
People sell business now because nobody in the family wants to work anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday. They said to me about our leaves in our yard. You know, how can we get rid of our leaves in our yard? I'm lucky to live near railroad tracks, so I can just blow them over the fence. But someone thought they could bring them to the old Lowell dump. And Ned, I remember as a kid going with Bill Hoare Fish Market with
Yeah.
fish heads on a Saturday morning and driving straight downhill. You had to put your foot on the brake in the truck. That's how deep.
Yeah.
That now it's like a ski slope. Why don't we take all the leaves, they said, and spread them over that dump? I said, well, I think you got a lot of solar panels up there now. I haven't been up there in years, but here we go.
A free
Did
bus
they-
ride. How did they get drivers to work for free? Market Basket, best cheesesteak. Back over to you guys.
How can you go wrong
When you-
for a sub at Market Basket? The most expensive one is $5.29.
Right.
You know,
Just going back to what you said, Bobby, now your leaves, City of Lowell, you can put out your yard waste,
I think
right?
it's- yeah, I
Drake it
think it's-
won't. Drake it, what they do is they open up the landfill, they take it, and then they either compost or whatever, but yeah, I know that you see yard waste containers, like once a month or whatever, is that it?
Every
Bobby?
other week.
I don't know exactly how it operates because I don't worry about bagging or putting leaves out. I just
to the
don't.
railroad.
And what I used to love is when I was a kid and you can't do that.
Jump in the-
burning leaves.
Burn them, sure.
Now you hear these calls, like I say, I'm a scanner guy, and you hear illegal burning at this address. Well, you have to be that PO'd
Well-
off your neighbor that you're going to call a car? Because I think the burning of leaves smells nice. I don't know what you
Yeah,
guys.
but right now, the way we have no rain, it's not a good idea to
Yeah.
burn. I like fires myself, Tom,
Yeah.
burning leaves, I would love that, but I think especially now, we almost have drought conditions, or we are in a
We're
drought.
in a
Yeah.
drought in eastern Massachusetts.
But I think you can only send out like 10 bags that are whacked right
Yeah,
now. And
yeah.
if you put out like 30 or 40 bags and they pick them up, that's it.
Yeah.
They can't even get the rest of the neighbors.
Yeah.
They gotta go unload what they have. So there's some issues with leaves.
Sure,
Without a
sure.
doubt.
The little leaves compress when they put them in there anyway, you know?
But I know Drake does a composting program that out to the landfill, the old landfill, let's put it that
Yeah.
way, and so.
Halloween seemed to die in my neighborhood.
Oh my God, we were so busy.
Yeah,
I mean,
we were
we were
busy.
so. Oh my God, the kids were so cute. We were dead, and then all of a sudden, like the elderly moved out of our neighborhood, and the young couples bought all the homes, and now we gave out a bowl and a half, a big bowl and a half of candy. It was it was right up to 8 o'clock. It was 6 to 8 in Drake. Yeah.
Tewksbury Funeral Home, John McDonough had them have the hearse all set up like a
Oh, yeah?
trunk or treat and give a ton of candy away. Riley School did it, but I'm talking locally on my
Your street dead? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got 30.
No,
30
it's
people.
on Jeff Street.
Yeah, we had.
There's only 7 and 9
We had to have
houses.
200 easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And the parents drive them all over to the neighborhoods now to go.
The best there was this girl I knew. She was with her kids. She says, "This is one of the best neighborhoods," because I remember her kids' friends lived in that neighborhood. So, yeah. And I like even when some of the adults dress up.
Oh,
We had one guy dressed up as Jesus. He was going, and he was serious. He was saying, he was very religious. You could tell. He says, "No, I'm dressed as him, but we got to find. Some people got to find him more. I think nowadays." You know, so.
Jeff, what else you got going? Anything?
3 minutes, guys.
You got 3 minutes to go, buddy. Glad to have you here today.
Well, just, I know we can't talk politics, but.
That's right.
Get out to vote, that's it. But for me, no, it's great that I could bring Ned up here this morning. One of the things that Ned didn't mention is that he did spend about a month in the hospital after the attack. He's had about 3 surgeries, 2 of them were brain, and he's still healing from a brain bleed, and he still has a broken shoulder. So he was pretty seriously injured. So to see an 86-year-old man here who took one hell of a beating, still here is pretty amazing. So if there is a God, I think.
I think the
they
hero of the whole,
granted.
I was at your home once,
Yeah.
and I met the hero. I think
Yeah,
the
the dog.
dog's a beautiful
My
dog.
dog now,
Yeah,
it's
so
just,
it was.
What was
but-
the name of the hospital you ended up there?
First I was in Elliott, then I was
Elliot.
in
I
Maine,
just couldn't believe when I went up to see
Maine.
him.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
care.
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
Linda Brown's going to be in the house. Greg Pappas is going to be here. Former mayor and city councilor Rita Mercier, she's going to be here too.
And I
Adam
walked
Sharp
in,
boys.
and I walked in and I said, Ned Tarmey's room. She says, "Oh, here, another one." It was so many people got Go down, take a left, go down.
Well, Danny Rourke was there one day when Jeff walked in, and he couldn't believe, the mayor.
Yeah.
I think this is, the next 2
Ron
days
Elliott
is a
come up too.
good to get your yard work completely
Yeah, it's gonna be a
done.
nice week the rest of
Yeah.
the week, yeah. So,
But we have some issues with the leaves, I know that.
No, I think we're very close. I heard that the kids thing during the Halloween with the rides was an amazing thing, huh, for the kids. They had
What?
rides, they had bobby horses.
downtown, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't go to it, but I
I
heard it,
heard
yeah.
it was
What an event.
jam-packed.
Yeah.
I heard it was jam-packed, and they gave, I don't know if they charged for the rides or not, but there was a bobby horse and some other rides. They also had a beer garden there, too.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that. Wow,
yeah.
is that-
That's
oh,
that,
we'll
that
try
was
that.
that brewery in Lowell over there. They were there.
That usually goes good, a beer garden,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, the guy that did this carnival did the rides down at the, for the kids, in the parking lot of the Enterprise Bank, you know?
Okay, yep.
And then he's coming in with some rides during Winterfest, the big slides, and they're gonna make them out, so you can slide down, you know? But
So Ned, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you, around an 8, coming back
Me?
physically?
for some days I am not good at all.
Say goodbye, boys.
Goodbye.
Okay.
Have
See
a
you
great
next
day,
week.
thanks for watching.
Ned, welcome back. You look
Thank-
marvelous.
Thank you. Oh, you look marvelous. I love that. Say something.